Good evening. It is March 15th, 2016. My name is Jacob.
And I'm still Danielle.
And we are the Proteus Podcast. Ideas in all shapes and forms.
It's true.
It is true. We have ideas, and some of them are not insane.
How are you doing this weekend or
I
week?
am doing much better than I was last week, and better even still than the week before.
Oh?
Yes, for those of you who don't know, because we haven't been here to tell you, I gave myself a herniated disc somehow.
Exciting.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance to try having a herniated disc, I suggest that you give it a pass.
Well, how do you sign up for a herniated disc?
Well, generally speaking, it's achieved by using exceptionally bad form when lifting, doing so repeatedly, often, and vigorously.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could suffer some kind of catastrophic injury.
So this was obtained while at work, I'm guessing?
Well, it's a funny thing because it came upon me slowly, which is an unusual thing. Because I thought I had a leg cramp. And then that leg cramp got much worse. And then that leg cramp started to encompass the whole leg, and then the right side of my right foot went numb. It was at that point that I suggested to myself that, Self, you might have screwed up and you better see a doctor.
You also described the early onset symptoms of a stroke.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
No?
No, it's definitely... The doctor did some neat tests where they torture you by making you bend. And they're like, oh yeah, that's totally going to be a herniated disc between the L5 and the LS1.
Oh, did he say it with a smile? Because it sounds like you just said it with a smile.
Yeah, he said it with a smile. And then I was like, so doc, what do you do to take care of this? And he said, well, have you tried not having a herniated disc? And I said, you know what, doc, that was the first thing I tried, and it hadn't seemed to have been taken. And so they prescribed a rigorous regimen of rest, relaxation, and physical therapy. And I was like, that's cool, doc, I can do one of those things.
So what's your long-term goal here?
The long-term goal is to do these really annoying exercises probably for the rest of my life, get most of the feeling to come back into my foot, and generally be better.
Okay.
So anyways, I went to the physical therapist an entire half of a week later because that was the earliest they could get me in, and they told me that my right leg was an inch longer than my left leg because of the muscles in one leg were locked up one direction, the muscles in the other leg were locked up the other direction, and it was my twist in my pelvis all cattywampus and wompy-jawed, and so they prescribed a series of exercises to correct those things.
Cattywampus and woppy-jawed?
Wompy-jawed. You never been wompy-jawed before? I can't recommend it. If you ever get a chance, I suggest you give it a pass.
No, I think much like the herniated disc, I will give wompy-jawed a pass.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. But yeah, apparently, and it may stem back a very long time to some older injuries, like I used to. Mm-hmm. You may or may not recall back 1,000 years ago when the world was young and we were still in college, how I sprained my ankle super bad when we lived on 12th Street.
Yes.
Yeah, it may all harken back to that, honestly, because that modified my gait, which has made me walk different and has affected my muscles in lots of weird ways.
Who knows?
Yeah,
You know, for some reason, the only thing I remember about that occurrence were socks. I remember you wearing socks.
Yeah, that's a thing I often do, wear socks.
Yeah, but I directly relate it to a sprained ankle.
Because that was probably the only garment I could get onto that foot. Yeah, but, physical therapy sort of kind of sucks. But at least I don't have to go to the place to do it. They gave me things I can work on at home, so I'm not spending hundreds of dollars a day on physical therapy, because that's a thing.
They subscribe anything else for you? Did they say no more bean tacos?
They recommended some weight loss. Bean tacos are actually okay, though.
Oh, okay. Recommended some weight loss. A little bit of recommended weight loss is always good.
Yeah, at this point, I'm pretty sure that 90% of the American population, when goes to the doctor, is prescribed, we recommend some weight loss.
I don't get prescribed that.
Well, but you know what I'm talking about. There's I think at this point there are probably more slightly overweight people and morbidly obese people than there are healthy and thin people in this country. Mainly because food at McDonald's is cheaper than fruit.
Oh, this is true, but now though you can get fruit at McDonald's.
Yeah, but it costs, and no one wants. And who is going to go to McDonald's for fruit when they have cheeseburgers?
So there's a McDonald's opening up in, I think it's South Korea or China, one of the two, where it's a completely different modeled McDonald's.
Yeah.
Instead of like the garish, like yellow and whatnot, it's very modern looking.
They've been moving away from the garish yellow for a while, haven't they?
Yeah. Yes. And when you go in, the first thing you notice is that they have a salad bar.
Bizarre.
I know.
In America, my point still stands. When given the option between rabbit food and a cheeseburger, most of us take the cheeseburger.
Well, if the only option is rabbit food.
Rabbit food being any and all vegetables.
I don't know. I have found as an adult, like coming into proper adulthood, there are some vegetables that I really love. Like steamed broccoli is amazing.
Don't even start about steamed broccoli with me. That stuff's wonderful. But here's the thing.
Wait, I wasn't done.
I'm with you on this.
What about Brussels sprouts? So good.
It's weird because you're not wrong. But the funny thing is there are lots of vegetables I like. I really enjoy a good portobello mushroom or sautéed zucchini or steamed broccoli with butter or even fresh peas are just lovely.
I
kind of like water chestnuts for some reason. And spinach with cottage cheese.
Well,
I like.
Okay, you lost me at cottage
Don't even
cheese.
worry about that though. But the point is there are plenty of and sweet and corn on the cob.
Yeah, no,
Wonderful.
corn on the cob is great. And you know what
But I never think about vegetables, except for when I'm
powder.
not thinking. Garlic has got a wonderful application in many situations.
Yes,
but I don't. When I'm thinking about food, I never think about vegetables. I'm like, I think I totally could go for some meat and dipped in cheese and rolled in butter and deep fried. And it's only afterwards, like, I probably should have had a vegetable with that.
It's like that restaurant I went to in Northern California that one time that
with the butter patty.
No, I got a steak with a side of, and on the menu you could actually get a side of steak. It wasn't
that's wonderful.
It was so you could get a steak with two sides, and both sides could be steak.
So it's like a porterhouse with a side of a top sirloin. You call it the turf and turf.
Yeah, the turf and turf and turf.
Thank you, Ron Swanson. Yeah, but I don't ever think of vegetables unless I really focus on making a proper meal.
So yesterday was Pie Day.
Yes, it was. And apparently, if you did some horribly complicated math, you could get free pizza for 314 days or something. No, it was 3.14 years.
Huh.
Yeah, Pizza Hut had this deal. If you could do these, and I looked at the math problems. I was like, yeah, nope, not even going to bother with that. But if you could solve the 3 math problems, you'd get free pizza at whatever rate of number of pizzas per week Pizza Hut deems is the right number of pizzas for 3.14 years.
And the people that could do that probably wouldn't want to eat pizza every week.
That's not necessarily true. I know some people that would definitely be able to do the math and would definitely eat the pizza.
Did they do it?
Haven't talked to them in years, but I know them. That's the kind of people that would do that.
So yesterday for Pie Day, I made little hand pies.
Oh.
And I made 3 different kinds of little hand pies. I used cupcake tins. And the first one I did was a mushroom medley.
Ooh, nice.
Medley. Yes, it was 3 different kinds of mushrooms. I did a little bit of portobello, some chanterelles, and then the regular white ones. And I cooked that with some onion and some garlic and some bacon. And I cooked that up. And then once it was almost done, I added in the heavy cream.
Sounds and I cooked quite lovely.
Oh, yes. And I cooked that up, and that was one of them. And the other one was like a classic meat pie with like the carrots and the chili sauce and the beef and the onion. Oh, it's so good, so good. But the last one, the dessert one, was a apple and pear crisp.
Very nice.
It was so good.
This harkens me back. Just the other day, I was fantasizing about the one time that I got to have a homemade, entirely from scratch chicken pot pie. It was truly impressive.
I can make those. I'm really talented in that way.
Just the other day, and by the other day I mean Saturday night, went to a friend's house and we had a shrimp boil.
Ooh.
Now, I know that it gets itchy in that room when you have a shrimp boil, but let me tell you what we had. Because they used a whole raft of the one of those shrimp boil seasonings. And you put potatoes in the pot and let those cook a while.
Yeah.
Then added corn on the cob, let that cook a while. Then added a bunch of mushrooms, let that cook a while. Then added some sausage, let that cook a while. Put all of that in a cooler and added the shrimp to the water and let that cook a while. Then commingled everything and let it stew in the cooler for another half hour. And talk about good.
You let it cool?
You know, it doesn't cool off because you put it in a high-end Yeti cooler. It stays boiling hot for half an hour in those things.
Well, when I was a kid, whenever we did a crawfish broil, we would take it right out of the boiling water with everything and strain it out, because it had all the big holes in the big thing. And then we would just pour that out across a picnic table.
Yeah. And I understand that is the more traditional way to do it, but the guy that I was cooking has a friend that is like a high-end chef in a restaurant somewhere. And the way his friend does it is you cook all the things, but then you put them all back together and let them sit, just not overheat, but just letting the temperature slowly come down for a half an hour. And it lets more of the seasoning flavors go into everything over that resting period. Kind of like how you got to rest a good roast or a steak. So they let it rest a little while, and it really works. The longer it sat, the more the flavor got built up and everything. But the point is even if you don't like shrimp and sausage, cooking all those other vegetables in that shrimp boil seasoning adds some wonderful flavors to those things.
Very nice.
Mushrooms get amazing with that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you have mushrooms soaking in a juicy, delectable juice, they soak up all the good things.
Mushrooms are the best. They soak up all the good things.
Mushrooms. Speaking of mushrooms, I want to eat one of my leftover hand pies now because we're talking about too much food.
Well, it's one of the things we're good at, eating.
Eating?
I've often described vacations as a series of conversations between meals.
You know what? In a lot of ways, that's true until you start having adventure vacations.
Yeah, but my kind of vacation, because vacation for me is I can't be arsed to have an adventure because I'm so bloody tired from working all year. So my vacations are go get together a family and sit around and have a series of conversations in between meals. And half of those conversations are about those meals and what the next meal will be.
How properly Southern of you.
Yeah, and we're not even Southern. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, my mind just went completely blank.
Astonishingly enough, before the doctor had prescribed me,
Oh, that's what we were talking about. Back pains.
That's how we got back to food, got to food somehow. But before my doctor prescribed a modicum of weight loss, I had already embarked on such a cumbersome adventure.
A cumbersome adventure into weight loss?
Any adventure into weight loss is cumbersome at start.
What'd you do? Start eating cumbersome yogurt?
No, I decided that how best to put this? I cannot be bothered to be miserable all the time because I'm miserable most of the time anyways.
Yeah.
And so instead of eating rabbit food and things I hate, I've decided to just eat less of the things I love.
Well, proper portion control is the biggest part of eating healthy.
It really is. And so that's really my goal.
Well,
And there's all these
being
people,
active
you need
just
to
a
be
little
eating
bit.
this strange ass thing like chia seeds and water for every meal. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not doing anything
No.
special. I'm just doing less of the things I normally do.
Yeah, proper amounts.
Yeah. And
Like eat your proper calorie count for the day.
yeah.
Make sure you have a balanced diet. I remember the steamed broccoli.
And don't stand in front of the refrigerator looking for answers.
Yeah, like cheeseburgers.
Or, and drink more water. But I've also very successfully, and I'm actually fairly happy about this whole thing that has gone as well as it has, I've cut myself back to drinking only one soda a week. And I treat it as a dessert, and it is in the middle of the week, so I get to look forward to it. And I tell you what, they taste a lot better when you don't get to have them very often. And there are other benefits as well.
I have completely stopped drinking sodas.
See, I have a deep-seated love for certain sodas, and so going completely off them I find to be just entirely too burdensome.
Mm-hmm.
Because you kind of got to have the things you love, even in small quantities. And that's my thing, is I don't want to just cut out everything I completely like that. It just, because then you usually end up failing. You go back on it, and okay, never mind, I'm done with this because it sucks. But if you have a little bit of the things you like every once in a while, it's a reasonable thing to do.
Yeah, I just discovered
but ladies and
that
gentlemen,
they weren't doing anything for me.
Here's a public health announcement for the general world at large.
No!
If you suffer from embarrassing gas, quit drinking soda.
Wait a second. Were you having embarrassing gas that you directly linked to soda?
I'm pretty sure I can directly link it to soda. I mean, when you think about it, consuming large quantities of carbonated beverages, not all of that gas is going to come back up as burps. It's got to go somewhere.
I don't know about this.
Listen, the point is I've experienced far less intestinal distress in the time since I have quit drinking large amounts of soda.
Okay, now that...
It could be attributed to the sugar as well, not having sugar fermenting in your stomach. But it's a possible side benefit to not drinking as much soda, so we'll just leave it at that.
Okay. I feel like someone's going to send us a nasty email now about sodas causing farts.
You are finally the one that actually used the fart word. Now that it's out of the bag, we're going to start using it. We had been mostly polite. Gas and intestinal distress. Medical terms.
Intestinal distress doesn't relate to farts.
It might.
It might, but I
Listen,
don't think it does.
Intestinal distress, discomfort, bloating, gas.
Nevertheless, I did link sodas with a lot of discomfort.
See, the point is they're probably not good for you, but they taste really nice, and so I'm allowing myself a very limited quantity of them, and treating them like a dessert and not like just a beverage.
Mm-hmm. So how goes the beer drinking?
What beer drinking?
Do you drink beer?
Occasionally, but not on a not regular enough basis for it to matter.
And other liquors / alcohols?
Occasionally, but not enough for it to matter.
Okay, I'm
This
just
is like
saying.
coffee.
Tequila's fattening.
Really?
Yeah, tequila makes you fat.
I'm going to leave that one alone. I'll get that peer reviewed later.
Well, that wasn't a song,
It says tequila makes me nauseous and beer just makes me fat.
Oh, that's right. My country music references are just out of date.
Yeah, well, something. That's not
No,
even right.
margaritas.
Whiskey makes me nauseous and beer just makes
so
me
much
fat.
Tasty sugar in them.
Something. Yeah, margaritas. Anyway, we're not going to sing, ladies, even as much as we want to. The point is we're trying to make ourselves into better people.
Better people? I don't believe in it.
Better looking.
Better looking? I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, you're probably right, idiot. I'm not going to get any less hideous.
Yeah. So back pains. Do I have pains? Oh yeah. So my whole body is wrapped up tight like a rubber band that's been like wound too many times around the pop gun, the rubber band gun.
Mm. Why?
Well, because I haven't gotten a massage lately, and I've just been stressed and all these other things, right? So I scheduled a hot stone massage, which is amazing. It's like taking a hot knife to cold butter. It's great. And
that analogy breaks apart for me because I'm thinking of being sliced open by a hot knife now while cold. Sorry.
Your muscles. Anyway,
yeah.
Evidently I'm terrible with dates.
Oh, that was supposed to be today?
Yeah, well, I thought it was going to be today.
Next week?
Next Tuesday.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
At least you got the right day.
I cried. In so much muscle too tight pain.
You have no idea.
Oh no. I mean, I don't have a herniated disc.
It's entirely possible the reason I have a herniated disc is my muscles pulled it out of place.
See? And this is why it's important I go get a massage.
Yeah, it's really important to take care of yourself.
I don't want to be cattywamped.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're younger than the age of 25 and want to be 35 and not have horrible aches and pains, I recommend you try to take care of yourself.
Or don't.
Or don't, whichever you're interested in. But let me tell you, if you let them start now, they'll be the aches and pains you have for the rest of your life.
I don't know. I think that you can take care of yourself even at our young age of our young mid-30s. And
I've begun to wonder about that, though, because there's the chronic things that I can't seem to make go away. I'm kind of worried that I'm like, you know what? I might have that for the rest of my days.
Or, maybe like the herniated disc, it would be well treated with all these healthy things the doctor's telling you to do.
Yeah, well, we're making a good attempt, so we'll see where it goes.
Making the good attempt. Oh, man. I could apply that to so many things in our lives.
A good faith effort.
Good faith effort. You know what? This reminds me of one of our other endeavors.
Useless endeavors.
Useless endeavors. For those that don't know, Useless Endeavors was our World of Warcraft arena team back in the day.
Because it was an entirely useless endeavor.
We
had neither the time, skills, or patience to become a good arena team, and so we were a bad arena team.
I chose bad. Do you hear that?
Is that an ice cream truck?
I don't know.
That sounds like an ice cream truck. Definitely an ice cream truck in the background there.
Oh man, I love the ice cream truck sound. It's great.
We're not going to get into that story right now.
Which one?
My ice cream truck story. It's too traumatic, and it's not really funny enough.
All right, let's put that on the list because I have an ice cream truck story too.
Is it traumatic and also not funny?
No, but I learned a great place to buy drugs.
Close enough. All right, so I have a quote that vaguely applies to today.
Okay.
And I can't remember who wrote this down, but the quote is, "Life is..." Anyways, I'm not going to do that right now because fact-checking live kills podcasts, as someone once said. Anyhow, the quote is, "Life is pain. Anyone who says differently is selling something."
Oh, wait, I know that quote. That's from The Princess Bride.
Really?
Yes, that's Wesley. To Princess Buttercup, right before they tumble down the ravine and then walk into the forest that no one has ever come out.
That doesn't sound right, but okay. I'll take that under advisement and check into it.
To the bad place. Where they tumble down the ravine into the bad place.
With the rodents of unusual size.
Yes, rodents of unusual size. All right.
Okay. Brain damage enough already.
What? All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Mine is from Walt Whitman.
Walt.
Yes, one of my heroes. There is that indescribable freshness and unconsciousness about an illiterate person that humbles and mocks the power of the noblest expressive genius.
He's not wrong. Someone
He's
help
not
that
wrong.
cat.
No, Max just wants to be loved.
Well, love that cat. He's not wrong. That is a really interesting concept right there.
Well, it's true. Sometimes even the least educated among us can sometimes grasp upon the truest tidbit of wisdom that the most educated overlook every day.
Yeah. Did you see, speaking of the uneducated finding things for the educated that it overlooked, there was a thing on the news the other day. I believe it was a 10-year-old girl discovered a new mathematical proof related to geometry.
What?
That had been entirely overlooked up until this point.
Huh.
Yeah, something to do with circles and radii. Just called the 3 radii theorem at this point.
3 radii?
Yeah.
Radii?
Something like that. I can't pronounce
Radar
math.
from MASH?
Yeah.
The 3 radar theory?
I was just always amused and impressed when things like that happen. When someone's been doing it this way because it seemed easy and right, and turns out it was easy and right.
Okay, let's think here. Jaded. I don't think I'm that jaded. I think I'm tired. I think I'm sore. I think I'm upset with myself for getting the dates wrong. But not that jaded. I'm going to have to go with a 3.
Yeah, a 3.
Oh, that's a yawn.
What was that? No,
you just yawned.
Pretend that didn't happen. Ladies and gentlemen, that was not a yawn.
It happened. The jaded meter just went up to 4.
Oh, you're welcome. It's one of the many annoying services that I offer. My jaded meter probably is equally 3 to 4-ish. Because I seem to be somewhat successful in some of my endeavors, and I am successfully ignoring all of my failures. So, there you go. A 3 to 4.
Sounds good to me. So, thank you everyone for listening. Again, please leave a review.
We are now available on iTunes because we try and we care. So, in theory, follow us on iTunes. Subscribe to us on iTunes, I believe, at Proteus Podcast. And if you're into that sort of thing, you can follow us on Twitter to get updates when we post new podcasts at Proteus Podcast on Twitter.
Right. We are not the Proteus Leader Podcast.
Yeah, that's somebody else. Definitely not us. We're not
that
pretty.
Us. Mm-mm.
We don't tweet anything else, so enjoy that. Unless I somehow discover a reason to tweet.
So yeah, thank you.
So have a good evening. My name is Jacob.
I'm still Danielle.
And we are still the Proteus Podcast. Good night.
Good night.